Hello and welcome to Computology Academy, and today we are going to discuss the subjective question of GS paper 3, overall GS paper 3 of JPSC mains exam, and that will be of 2016 mains. That will provide you an idea about what kind of questions you will get in 2021 JPSC mains exam. Most probably the results of prelims will be out this month, and thereafter the mains will be commenced in the last week of December or first week of January. So here the first part of the paper 3, GS paper 3 is of history, and here we will see what kind of questions are asked in JPSC mains exam GS paper 3 and how to approach, how to write that answer and how to understand what is the requirement of question. So let us start. First, there is a question: describe the main features of local administration of Chola rulers. So here are some keywords. First of all, you have to focus on local administration. So what does local administration will mean? This will mean how does the Chola administration used to administer their villages, their provinces, as well as the complete empire. But here you should not go on to write about the economic administration, their military administration, and their expansion of their empire. So here you should be focusing only on the local administration. What kind of government was there, how they used to manage the village level administration, how they used to manage the province level administration, and what kind of officials were there. So all these things will be discussed here, but not the economic administration, like how they used to generate the revenue, what kind of taxes they used to impose, and the military administration, how they used to organize their military, what kind of officials were there in the military, what kind of equipments they used in their military organization. So these kind of things should not be dealt with in here. And while writing the mains examination, in the subjective question, you need a good dexterity to answer the question so that it has a good flow. The connectivity between the different paragraphs should be very good. Otherwise, the examiner will lose the interest of going through your answer. And if he loses the interest, you will be at the losing end, you will lose good amount of marks. So this should be kept in mind. So while writing the answer, you should be continuously recalling the question, what the gist of the question is, what is the demand of the question. Once you understand the demand of the question, thereafter you should frame your raw structure of the answer, because here the number of questions are not so big. You have to just answer 2 questions of history and 2 questions of geography in subjective way. So here you are going to have good amount of time to structure your answer in a better way. And here the question should be answered in 500 to 600 words. So this is not a big deal, but here the presentation will play a crucial role. Here, if you present your answer in a very good manner, then you will fetch very good marks. Even out of 40 marks, which is the weightage of every subjective questions, you can easily score in between 30 to 35 marks if you present your answer in a very good way. So here the main keywords are local administration and Chola rulers. So first of all, you should know about the Chola rulers, where their empire was in North India or South India, what kind of people they were. So here in the answer, the structure of the answer will be very important, how you organize your answer. So first of all, introduction should be there, and in the introduction, the content should be limited to extent of Chola Empire. What was the extent of Chola Empire? In which regions the Chola used to control the administration, from where they used to generate the revenue. So this is the map in which you will see the Chola Empire, the complete South India, south of this Krishna river, and thereafter Sri Lanka, and in the yellow marked regions the Chola used to have their influence. A kind of suzerainty was there by the Chola administration, as the Chola people were very apt in naval power. They were having a good fleet of naval army, and because of that they used to these regions of Andaman and Nicobar, here in Myanmar, and here in this Malaysian region and this Indonesian region. Here they had their suzerainty, and this region was known by the Chola people as the Swarndeep. Now, thereafter, the sources of information should also be there. From where does we get the information about the type of the Chola administration? That should also be mentioned over in the introduction, so that it will provide an authenticity to your answer. Like you should mention over there that most of the information about the Chola administration come from the text of the Sangama literature, and thereafter the Abhileks or the inscriptions of the Chola period, which inscriptions have been found in different temples on the copper, metal and other rocks. So these kind of things should be mentioned in the introduction, and thereafter come to the body. So in the body part, it should be divided in subheadings, so that it will provide a good structure, a good look to your answer. Otherwise, only in the paragraphs it will look like a jumbled work, and examiners don't like that. So that if you provide the headings like central administration, provincial administration and the rural or the village administration, so when the examiner starts to read your answer, he will be having the knowledge about what he is going to read in these paragraphs, or even in point manner if you are writing in that manner. So here in the central administration, you will discuss about the type of the government, that is whether it was republican or it was monarchy. So in the Chola administration, you will write that it was not a republican empire, but it was a monarchical empire. So there was a monarchy, the king used to rule the whole empire, and he used to appoint his officials. And thereafter you will talk about the Amatyas. Amatyas are basically the ministers or the officials who used to discuss any problem with the king, and they used to provide important information to the king and suggestions to the king. And thereafter different departments. So there was not a huge number of ministers in the Chola empire, but the government was divided into different departments, and every department was headed by an official who used to look that department. And thereafter you will come to the provincial administration. So here, while dealing with these headings and subheadings, you should elaborate these points, like how the sabhas of the Chola empire worked, how the discussion was going on over there, and how the departments were being managed. So all these things should be discussed over there. Thereafter, there will be discussion about the provincial administration. So here in the provincial administration, you will find that the provincial administration was also headed by the close relatives of the Chola king, like his cousin, his nephew, all those kind of people were used to be the administrator of the provincial government, and they were also having the position of Raja. They were also known as Raja in the Chola administration. The king was not only known as the Raja. Here, the king was known as the Maharaja, and he used to call his empire as the Rashtra. And here, thereafter, the provincial administration was headed by the Raja, and they were called as the Rashtrams. So here the provinces were given the nomenclature of Rashtram, and thereafter the Rashtrams were divided into the Mandalams. Mandalams were basically the districts of the provinces. So here again the district administration was there, and that was headed by the officials that were appointed by the Raja and not by the king himself. And they also used to be the close relatives of the king. And thereafter it was divided into the kotams. Kotams were a kind of prakhand or the blocks, and they were headed by the officials. And thereafter group of villages called Nadu, and thereafter Kurram or Valnadu. Kurram were also known as Valnadu. So these Nadu and Valnadu were the villages. And here the administrative flow was like that. The order used to be passed from the central administration to the Raja, and thereafter to the Mandalam and Kuttam, Nadu, Valnadu or Kurram. So this was the process of administering, or the method of administering the local administration in the Chola Empire. And now come to the village or the rural administration. So the village were of two types in the Chola administration. One type of village used to be known as Ur, and these were inhabited by mixed population, like all the castes, like all the people of all the castes we used to live here, and they were mixed together. There was no segregation of the village region according to the caste inhabited by the people. And here the taxation was collected by the officials and used to be submitted at the central administration through different channels. But there were also Agrahara villages. So these Agrahara villages were special in the sense that they were inhabited only by the Brahmins. So other caste people were not allowed to enter these villages, and they were especially allocated to the Brahmins by the king or the Raja. They were rent free. No taxation was collected from these villages, and the Brahmins were allowed to restrict the entry of any other people. Even the government officials, like the officials of the king or the administration, were not allowed to enter these Agrahara villages. So such kind of autonomy was there in the Brahmin villages. And the Chola Empire used to respect the Brahmins to a great level. They were having a great respect in their heart, in their mind for the Brahmins, and that's why they used to allocate, they used to give the Brahmins. Brahmin को जानते ही हैं, स्वाहा, इतना दक्षिणा चढ़ाइए. तो वही हालत थी यहाँ पर. ब्राह्मण्स गए, पूजा पाठ करवाया, 1 2 4 10 विलेजेस की एक गवर्नमेंट ले ली दक्षिणा में, एंड दे यूज टू बी टैक्सेशन फ्री. और यहाँ पे ये लोग अपनी ऑटोनोमस गवर्नमेंट टाइप की चलाते थे, जिसमें कि सिर्फ ब्राह्मण्स को ही आना अलाउड था. जैसे आज भी आप मंदिर जाएंगे तो वहाँ पर ब्राह्मण्स के हिसाब से आपको एंट्री मिलेगी, अपने हिसाब से आप कहीं भी नहीं घुस सकते हैं. वहाँ पर भी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस रहेगा, बैरिकेटिंग रहेगी, सब कुछ रहेगा. और फिर निकालिए तो जाइए, अदरवाइज बाहर से दर्शन कीजिए और आगे बढ़िए. That was the situation even in the ancient time in the Chola administration, or even in all the kinds of administration. When we will talk about the Mauryan Empire or the Magadhan Empire and the period of Ashoka, when the Jainism and the Buddhism came into existence, then we will come to know how the level of intellectual omniscience was there in the ancient period during the period of बुद्धिज्म एंड जैनिज्म. उस समय के लोग उतने ऑर्थोडॉक्स नहीं थे, उनका मतलब कि माइंड थोड़ा ओपन था, वो लोग ब्राह्मण्स को उतनी वैल्यू नहीं देते थे. बट विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम रिलीजन गॉट कंसोलिडेटेड, और वहां पर ब्राह्मण्स ने भगवान का भय दिखा दिखाकर अपनी पोजीशन बहुत ज्यादा ऊपर कर ली. एंड इवन द किंग्स, द रूलर्स वे आर फियरफुल ऑफ द ब्राह्मण, श्राप दे देंगे. तो वो सिचुएशन यहाँ पर भी थी. और इसीलिए जो ब्राह्मण्स के जो विलेजेस थे अग्रहारा, ये टैक्स फ्री हुआ करते थे, क्योंकि जो राजा साहब हैं उनको भी डर है ब्राह्मण से. सो दिस वाज द सिचुएशन. तो ये फ्लो होना चाहिए आपका. जो मीन्स का आंसर राइटिंग रहेगा उसमें जो आप आंसर्स लिखेंगे तो उसमें प्रॉपर, सबसे पहली बात है स्ट्रक्चरिंग होनी चाहिए. द स्ट्रक्चर शुड बी गुड एंड वेयर एवर इट इज पॉसिबल मेक अ डायग्राम. तो उसमें आपका जो लेंथ है, सबसे पहली बात क्या है कि 500 वर्ड्स जो आपके पेपर में दिखने चाहिए. तो 500 words will not be counted by the examiner word by word. They will just count the pages and accordingly they just come to a conclusion कि इतने words तो होंगे ही. So if you are in not a position to write the number of words which are described over there, then try to use as many diagrams as you can, but that should be relevant. ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ का भी कुछ भी डायग्राम बना दिए. तो if you go on to draw this diagram of the Chola Empire, that will cover more than half of your page. So here you will get an age of around 50 words. Page counting में तो ये आ ही जाएगा. And likewise, if you go on to draw the diagram of the administrative system, so you can make a flow chart also of the central administration, then provincial administration, in which type the provincial administration was divided, and thereafter how the village administration was there, in which type of parts the village administration was divided. So this flowchart will again give you an age of half of page. So try to generate such kind of skill in which you can manage your answer writing in a very good way. You should get the dexterity in answer writing, and that is the only method through which you can fetch very good marks after you have completed the syllabus. क्योंकि knowledge तो सबसे पहले चाहिए ही चाहिए. Thereafter only you will be in a position to write good answer. कंटेंट ही नहीं रहेगा तो आप कितना भी प्रेजेंटेशन बढ़ा लीजिए, कुछ भी कर लीजिए, मार्क्स अच्छे नहीं आएंगे. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गुड नोट्स, गुड बुक्स, एंड thereafter go on to आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस. उसमें आप अपनी डेक्स्टरिटी अचीव कीजिए. And thereafter you will be in a good position to write a very good mains answer sheet, and that will fetch you a very good marks. And here, last but not the least, there are very few seats left out in our courses. Today we are starting the courses online as well as offline. Offline class is already on, and here for the admission purpose, visit our website, come down to our office, or even you can register through the mobile, and the classes are already on. So if you don't want to miss any important topic, so go on. In the online mode you are not going to miss any topic because it will be provided in the recorded format, so it will be available till the mains exams are over. But in the offline mode the classes are not going to be repeated. So if you don't want to miss the important topics, so if you want to take the offline mode admission, come down to our office and take the admission as soon as possible. Very few seats are left and there is only limited to 40 seats. And for other informations, visit our website and follow us on our social media channels, and do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new informative videos. Thank you very much and have a nice day.